thank you for joining us. Welcome to Rome. We are at the Stadio Olimpico for the Champions League Final 2009. It's safe to say the golden boot is Ibrahimovic's to lose, unless of course Adriano injures him pre-match and outscores him in the final. But with a strike rate as impressive as Zlatan's, it would be rude not to take a look at all 11 goals he has scored so far. The time is almost upon us. The anticipation is building here in the Stadio Olimpico in Rome that somewhat resembles a Roman Colosseum. Those lucky enough to be in attendance are expecting a gladiatorial spectacle between two of Europe's elite. Two European championships for Inter Milan is respectable in its own right. It pales in comparison to the pale shirts of Real Madrid. 9 championships acquired by Los Blancos. The talent on the field is legendary. The strike force of Ibrahimovic and Adriano versus the Dutch Revolution of Real Madrid. Here we go, Champions League Final 2009 is underway. Quaresma helps it on, finds Vieira, and he forces Casillas to flick it over. Zlatan Ibrahimovic galloping forward, 11 goals to his name. And Mancini's kept it running, Ibrahimovic into the middle. And Adriano misses it, whistles past his head like a bullet. That could have been an incredible pass to Van Nistelrooy. Robin, first meaningful advance for Real Madrid. And it's touche as Cesar tips it over. First corner of the game. And this fell out. Just Schneider has a go. Took a deflection and it's in. It's taken less than 10 minutes for our first goal in the Champions League final. And it's Ruud Van Nistelrooy. A remarkable stroke of luck. Ruud Van Nistelrooy has the face of a horse and the reflexes of a cat. It's a Schneider driver into the face of Marco Materazzi and off of the face of Van Nistelrooy. Albeit unintentional, the Dutch Revolution rises again. Van der Vaart. And it's up to Raul. Here's Van Nistelrooy into Milan. Clambering back. Here's Van Nistelrooy. Great save from Cesar. Didn't quite catch it cleanly with the left foot. Raul just swings it in. Van Nistelrooy gets something on it. And Cesar's panicked and Van der Vaart was so close to converting. Well, it was strange because it's not even on target. It's going out of play. Cesar keeps it in. And if Van der Vaart doesn't kick the shins of the keeper, that's a second goal. Adriano has Zlatan in his sights. Cannavaro's missed it. And Mancini fumbles it. It's out wide to Mancini. Cambiasso. Inter Milan yet to get a foothold in this game. Here's Mancini. Ball across the face of goal and is skied across the running track. And this Roy's spidey sense detects the run of Arjen Robben. Second corner kick to Real Madrid. Schneider bends it in. Robben is there. Now Real Madrid have a cushion. The Dutch Messi is slowly christening this club Robben Madrid. The Dutch revolution continues strength to strength. Well and truly manifesting itself in this Champions League final as Inter Milan are sinking. They're being given the thumbs down by the Emperor Real Madrid in their own country. More of a carefree strike from Wesley Schneider. We see what he's capable of. With a pass out from deep from Cannavaro. Van der Vaart. Diarra, Raul hits it first time, but it's soft. And that might be a tragic sight. Arjen Robben walking very gingerly. Javier Zanetti shatters the glass knees of the Dutch Messi. Now the question is, will Real Madrid's golden goose continue to lay eggs? And Adriano's glancing header just goes wide. And sadly, it's the end of the road for Arjen Robben. They're in a healthy position thanks to that man, but they know losing him is like losing a limb. Ramos squeezes in a low cross and it just comes off Schneider. I don't think he realised it hit him. Rafael van der Vaart trying to lure in Samuel. Oh, van der Vaart hit it with some menace just a little too high. Inter Milan just got to hold on for a couple more minutes as Real Madrid come forward looking for a third. Cesar punches out of desperation. Inter Milan can't wait for this half to end. They've barely seen their way out of their own side of the pitch. Here comes Adriano. It's into the middle to Zlatan. Can they put it back? And there goes the last roll of the dice. He rolled a 0. Lady Luck woke up in the bed of Iker Casillas this morning. Half time in the Champions League final, and the trophy is halfway into the arms of the Galacticos. It's Inter Milan 0, Real Madrid 2. Thank you to everybody who left a vote on the Champions League goal of the tournament. Much like the second leg of Real Madrid-Barcelona, the votes were pretty one-sided, but without further ado, here is what you voted for the Champions League goal of the tournament. Van der Vaart swings it in, it's bent away. Lands to Schneider! Oh my God! No way! Wesley Schneider with a goal! The goal of the Champions League! We've just witnessed an absolute banger! And on top of that, Real Madrid have equalised. They've got the away goal. They've got the away goal. They've got the perfect goal. A clean volley that dips and swerves. And there's nothing Victor Valdez can say or do about it. And we are back. 45 minutes to go of final football. Inter Milan could barely get a look in Real Madrid's penalty area. They need to step it up in the second half. Let's see what they're made of. And the formula isn't quite calculating for Adriano tonight. Adriano to Cambiasso. And he takes a strike, comes off the knees of Gabriel Heinze. Quaresma's corner, whistles past everyone. Coming up to an hour of football in the Champions League final. And Inter Milan have to produce something to stand a chance of getting back into this. Real Madrid are quite comfortable so far. Maicon is keeping Sergio Ramos busy. Maicon into the box and Crespo has pulled the goal back. It's game on here in Rome. Well, the seeds of investment have been planted. The super sub has paid off. Hernan Crespo, who hasn't scored a goal all tournament, has barely touched a blade of grass. Thanks to Adriano and Ibrahimovic keeping them on that bench. But here Hernan is reminding the world of just who he was. Now has he struck a nerve for Real Madrid? We're going to find out. Here's Schneider sent for a revolving door by Samuel. Adriano slams on the brakes and squares it to Cambiasso. Mancini into the breadbasket of Casillas. Well, there's a little bit more end-to-end now in the second half, so that's a positive. Higuain couldn't reward Van Nistelrooy for the 1-2 pass. Diarra gets it to Van der Vaart very quickly. Van der Vaart couldn't get it up in the air high enough. Deep pass from Cambiasso to Adriano. Flamboyant from the Brazilian. Adriano, and the shot's blocked. Fierro on the volley. And it's caught out the air like a frisbee by the keeper. Schneider has Real Madrid beating to his drum. Higuain shares it with Hente. Countryman gives it back and Higuain into the box, and Van Nistelrooy gets a muffled header on. That's calmly collected by Julio Cesar. Driven up the field. Just over 20 minutes remaining. Ibrahimovic lets it go to Crespo. Back to Hernan Crespo. Opens up his body for the strike. And the super sub has just hit the reset button on the Champions League final. Inter Milan have been resurrected. They're back from the dead. They're back in the game. And it's thanks to this stranger, Hernan Crespo. Internazionale were about to die a death, and then Hernan Crespo stands up and declares, "I am Spartacus." Schneider essentially clears this out of the Colosseum. Figo. Vieira whips it in. Diarra panics. Here's Mancini. Figo gets a low cross in, and it's almost a comical own goal by Pepe. The pace is really picked up here in Rome. Here's Mancini. And they've won a corner. Mancini with the delivery, and is met by his countryman Adriano. Finally gets the goal that he's been dying for in the Champions League final. And it may just be the most important one yet. The comeback is complete. It has utterly fell apart for Real Madrid in this second half. It's been a final of two halves. Mancini up the line to Javier Zanetti. Inter Milan are in their element now. Crespo takes a hit. And is carefully collected by Iker Casillas. And a shot of a handball from Gabriel Hentze. Adriano. Well, it was meant for Mancini at the far post. Real Madrid now, they have a counter. Higuain. The substitute could be a hero. The Argentinian smashes it against the Brazilian. And the score remains 3-2. Soaked up by Pepe. Figo. Now it's Adriano. For a chance to kill the game dead. Diarra. Higuain, now Van Nistelrooy. He's on his own, surrounded by black and blue stripes. Real Madrid have 5 minutes left. But the roles have been reversed. Inter Milan have been rock solid at the back. Schneider gets the ball in. Higuain! Oh my God! Inter Milan's party has just been delayed by 30 minutes. Real Madrid have a super sub of their own. And he's just bought them valuable time in the Champions League final. Gonzalo Higuain has redeemed himself for a crucial miss 5 minutes earlier that was certainly destined for scrutiny. All is forgotten. He's buried that in the furthest part of the goal. Cesar didn't bother getting his kit dirty. A remarkable scoreline in the Champions League final. Adriano! Ah! He nearly stole it. He nearly stole it from the heart of Real Madrid. Now for the second year in a row, the Champions League final carries over into extra time. After 90 minutes in the Champions League final, it's Inter Milan 3, Real Madrid 3. 30 more minutes of fabulous football awaits. After that second half, I don't know if both teams have the legs. There's some considerable age in both sets of teams. That's something to bear in mind. Oh, Crespo's been wiped out by Marcelo. Free kick to Inter Milan. Figo is going for the far post, and Mancini's there, but it's just wild. There's Adriano. Cambiasso, he sees Mancini breathing on the edge of the box. Normally he hits him hard, but he shoves. Marcelo doesn't want it any longer, gives it to Van der Vaart instead, and he tries to wrap it around the post. Now the captain Raul, clattered into by his former teammate Luis Figo. Two legends who won this competition in 2002. Van der Vaart pings it up the pitch to Ramos. And he's on one. Ramos is shut down by Michael. Oh, and it kept going by Saviola. Will it be a dramatic end to the first half? Figo sends it in. Van Nistelrooy shouts of handball, but they're going to keep going. Mancini chipped up to Zlatan. And he still can't score. And he may never score his 12th goal in the Champions League final. Great save from Casillas. Well, the closest to a goal was denied by that man, Iker Casillas. Half time and extra time. We're just 15 minutes away from the second Champions League final shootout in a row. Cambiasso, Figo releases it very quickly, and now Real Madrid are outnumbered. Inter Milan have gone in front for the second time in the game. And it's the Emperor at the 11th hour. And is that symbolic, as Ibrahimovic, who hasn't scored a goal, doesn't want to join in the celebrations? Is it perhaps because Adriano is slowly creeping up on Zlatan's record? Real Madrid's defence was like a ghost town. Real Madrid need to play the greatest 12 minutes of their lives now. Well, as forces out to tip it over. Ibrahimovic plays it back to Vieira. He's surging forward. And Ibrahimovic gets a deflection on it, and Hernan Crespo has just claimed a historic hat-trick in the Champions League final. Off the bench and all. And surely now it's just a question of time. It's just a question of the clock running down, because Real Madrid are surely not coming back from this. Inter Milan are like blue piranha sharks swarming that penalty area for a feed, while the fullbacks have just left Real Madrid's defence vulnerable to a violent assault again. And Adriano nearly gets his hat-trick. Here's Figo, certainly a bittersweet final for him. Ibrahimovic! It's over. It's all over now, and Zlatan gets the 12th goal and prevents his powerful partner from getting any ideas and taking that golden boot away from him. The Swede has secured it. Real Madrid have been tired in the second half. There's no gas in the tank. 3 minutes to go, and Inter Milan feel like kicking a dead horse further. What a season that man's had. Should be applauding yourself. Now Real Madrid trying to preserve some sort of dignity with the dying embers of the game. This is their last footsteps in the final. Ramos, at the line, and Higuain remarkably gets his second of the game. Doesn't look quite so bad now, because after all, you've lost the game by 2 goals. But I don't think any defence in the world is any match for the power and persistence of Inter Milan. And the referee has just blown the whistle that writes Inter Milan into the history books. It's the highest scoring Champions League final since Real Madrid themselves won it in 1960 against Frankfurt. That game finished 7-3. If we've learned anything in this competition, it's that these two teams are capable of scoring goals, especially after those 2 semi-finals. But you'd be forgiven for thinking that they'd cancel each other out in the final. The first half belonged to Real Madrid. Inter Milan were more than motivated for the second half, but Inter Milan played the football of their lives in the final 15 minutes of extra time. At the same time, Real Madrid's legs gave out. In modern football, no team is safe, even if you are heavy favourites. But with the exception of a slip-up against Werder Bremen on matchday 2, Inter Milan have never looked back. They have been comfortable in this competition. Inter Milan are your champions of Europe in 2009. It comes a year earlier than their actual Champions League victory in Madrid, ironically. But here in Rome, all that matters is that this crescendo of talent are your champions. Well, there we have it. A thrilling game, a ridiculous game, an exhausting game, a remarkable game. Inter Milan are the champions of Europe, and I think these goal scoring charts just about sum up Inter Milan's dominance over this tournament. If it wasn't for the strike partnership of Ibrahimovic and Adriano, it might have been a different story. 12 goals for Zlatan and 9 goals for Adriano on his Inter Milan swan song. And once again, thank you everybody who joined in on this journey, subscribed, left a nice comment. I couldn't have completed this without your support and passion for Retro PES. So, let me know your thoughts on such an uneventful final, and let me know what you would like to see next. Stay safe wherever you are.